Oh, hello, and welcome back to the FrankenGames, my video series in which I look at every Frankenstein video game ever made. We're still hovering around 85 games. That number changes daily as I discover new things or remove things that don't apply. So we'll see how many there are by the end, but suffice to say it is a lot of games, and it's going to be 31 days of it. So we're on day 8 in this video, in which I'll look at a couple of games from the early to mid-90s, which is an interesting time. But before we get to that, of course, I'm doing this because, I've been calling everything I do, I call a licensed video game series, but of course, the games based on Frankenstein aren't really licensed. Actually, no, today is an exception. Today is a licensed video game. I think we finally have a licensed game. Before this, we can call them adaptations, video game adaptations of Mary Shelley's book called Frankenstein, and all of the popular media that kind of is based on the book, but more honestly, frankly, it's based on the movies that we all know. It's the Frankenstein. In fact, you can see it up here. It's the Frankenstein with the flat head and the bolts. You know, we all know that. Based on Universal Frankenstein. So yeah, so it's just exploring that whole wide world of adapted works and licensed works together. Today's random quote from the book is, "I was benevolent and good. Misery made me a fiend. Make me happy, and I shall again be virtuous." And of course, that's the creature saying, like, look, you made me, I'm upset. I'm real upset. But if you give me a Wowie Pop or something, I'll be happy, and then I won't kill people again. So the creature, I don't know. I know the creature he's been done wrong, right? The creature, the Frankenstein's monster, he had a bad start. He was created from by a scientist who got in way over his head, didn't know what he was doing, and suddenly this creature exists. So I know he's had a real bad time, and he's like, look, man, I've had a real bad life. If you just do what I want, I'll be cool. But at the same time, the creature, having gained this level of intelligence and I guess you might say emotional maturity, I guess it's arguable. Maybe the whole point is he thinks he's emotionally mature and he's smart and he's learned all these things, but is he emotionally mature? And I think that speaks to many experiences humans have, which is like, just because you're more experienced and you're older and you're maybe smarter does not mean you have the emotional maturity to like keep yourself cool and prevent yourself from murder is maybe the idea here. But anyway, that's a lot of analysis into this random quote for the day. Now we move on to actual games. So, the first game of today is the first, is it the first licensed work? I'm going to say it is. It's Frankenstein from 1993, an LCD handheld from Micro Games of America / aka MGA. A brief description of this is: help Frankenstein safely travel through the haunted forest while searching for his bride. Of course, you're looking at a bag of Doritos, but give me a moment here. So yeah, we're looking at an LCD handheld from a time in Universal monster history where I think Universal, the company Universal Studios realized like there's suddenly nostalgia for all these classic monsters of theirs, because I would assume all of the, what would it be, Gen X? All the Gen Xers? Maybe the boomers too. They were remembering like, oh, all those classic monster movies from their youth, they remember them fondly, and now Universal realized like, cha-ching, nostalgia means money, because we can start to like really use these things we own, these licenses we own, these characters to make some bucks. So what we have here is a big promotional push in the early 90s to bring back the Universal monsters into the public consciousness. And really, specifically in this case, they're promoting like this monster money game contest thing where you win $1 million, which really the purpose of which is just to drive sales of Doritos. And what else did we have? So we had Doritos in on this promotional push. We had Pepsi in as well. Same thing. It's promoting this Monster Match game. You can see there the actual Frankenstein on the packaging. This is noteworthy for me because this is, I threw this in because this is when I first gained knowledge of Frankenstein. I very specifically remember a bag of Doritos from this era with Frankenstein on it. And that's my first memory of Frankenstein, is not watching the movie, like the James Whale movie from 1931 or something, the original Universal Frankenstein movie. I watched that years later when I rented it on VHS, but yeah, so my first experience, like so many things that I'm nostalgic about, unfortunately, it was driven by capitalism and commercials and pushing people to go buy products. So there you go. Pepsi was in on it too. And then we have a commercial, which I think is worth watching because it's really short.
Look, the neighbors just bought a new car and we drive that old wreck. They went to Cancun. We went to your brothers in Poughkeepsie.
This Halloween, find monster game pieces in Pepsi products and Doritos brand tortilla chips. The right match can win you thousands of prizes, up to $1 million.
Your hands in the sink. The bad ingredients.
Look for specially marked packages. It could change your life for good.
You'll never take out the garbage.
Play Pepsi Doritos Monster Match for monster money.
Frank!
There you go. So that was a fun commercial for that whole contest. But again, speaking to the idea, the fact that like these creations were back in popular consciousness. What else was, like, we had the Addams Family coming back around then, maybe the Munsters coming back. So all of this old monster stuff was just coming back into popular media and being promoted to heck. Sorry, any kids watching out there? Don't let your parents hear you say that. To heck and back. So all of this is to say that finally we get to the game aspect of this promotion. There was no Universal Monsters video game. There was no, like, at least not on any of the consoles of the time. As far as like electronic gaming, this was it. This LCD handheld from Microgames of America in 1993 was the Frankenstein electronic game officially licensed from Universal. So this is the only Universal release of a Frankenstein game around this time. So there's the packaging and you can see the handheld there. Let's go in for a close-up as well. You can see there, very simple layout, just some directional buttons and a jump, start and attack button. So I'm showing you photos because, this is not emulated. There's no footage of this anywhere that I could find. We know it exists from people trying to sell this thing for hundreds of dollars, many hundreds of dollars. The game collector market out there is nuts. People are asking a lot of money for this sort of thing. I was not going to buy it, but even though I could not possibly afford to buy this 1993 LCD handheld, I got lucky, and I was able to afford this 1994 LCD handheld that contains not just one game, but three. And I've said before, I'm not looking at ensemble pieces where Frankenstein is one of several creatures, but this is fine because basically what happened here is this company, MGA, was doing this for several licenses where they would release individual LCD handhelds containing just one game, but then they realized, like, oh, what if we try to combine them and turn it into this, like, swappable cartridge system? And that's what this is. This is the Game Wizard. I'm familiar with it already because I looked at this when I looked at the games based on Goosebumps. Goosebumps also received a 3-in-1 handheld type thing with cartridges. You can see here, so basically in 93 there was a standalone game for Frankenstein. Then in 94, that same game is packaged in as a cartridge along with a Dracula game and a Wolfman game. So it becomes this sort of 3-in-1 bundle. In the Game Wizard, the cool thing is those cartridges and every other version of this, they're all swappable. So I could take any one of my Goosebumps cartridges, pop them into this handheld, and they would be playable. So that was kind of how they tried to expand their reach, I guess, at the time. So that's the packaging. Here's a closer photo of the handheld and what it looks like. Again, it's a different design for the hardware itself, right, from the previous version we looked at, but same basic thing. It has the directional buttons, it has the action button, mode, sound, etc. So yeah, they just repackaged it, repurposed it, and I was able to buy it. So this was way more affordable. This, for some reason, I was able to find an affordable version of this. So I have it. Here's a quick look at the manual. It's very basic, just kind of a rundown of the different characters you'll see. We play as Frankenstein. We're trying to save the bride of Frankenstein. The evil doctor is the one who has trapped the bride. It's worth noting that this is the first. No, I'm wrong. I was going to say it was the first instance of the player as Frankenstein trying to save his bride, but the previous game, or a game I looked at already called The Adventures of Dr. Franken, did have Summer Frankenstein with the sunglasses trying to help his girlfriend. But I was going to say the more specific comparison I have here is the game called Bride of Frankenstein from 1987, where the player is the bride and we're trying to help our male Frankenstein dude, because he except in that case we're trying to reassemble him. So yeah, kind of a protagonist swapping around, which I appreciate. All right, so there you go. That's a glimpse at the manual real quick. And finally, after all this talking, we're going to watch some footage. There we go. So this is footage I recorded from the device I purchased. Is it still here? Oh no, I moved it out of the way. Well, anyway, you looked at it. You saw plenty of it. So yeah, MGA, if you look at, well, I don't have the photo here, but basically, they did this with Universal Monsters, they did it with Goosebumps, but they had like at least a half dozen other licenses. They had a Power Rangers line of games. They had Star Wars. They had a Star Wars line. So they just were acquiring these licenses and then just kind of trying all these different ways to, leverage the license and make some money. Because that's ultimately what's driving all of these choices. And I will say, I don't know, can I say I'm impressed with this? I'm impressed this does not suck. I guess is the best way to put it. Anytime I pick up these licensed games, especially the certain ones with like really tiny screens that just look like, sorry to say, they look lower effort and lower budget, I am still impressed. As simple as the gameplay is, you move left and right, you use your lightning bolts against the bats, you have to jump over the snakes, you're supposed to pick up the ring and the lightning bolts. As the manual explains, when you pick up 3 lightning bolts, the gate in front of the doctor comes down, and then you can go attack the doctor to save the bride. And then I didn't do it in my run, but apparently you save the bride once, you get reset for a second round, and then I'm assuming each round gets more and more difficult as you go. So pretty rudimentary, but it's good. It's fine. It's like, it's not revolutionary. It's a very basic sort of game where you just move left and right and dodge stuff, shoot stuff, and then, but just the mechanic of like gathering the lightning bolts, and then actually I think I might achieve that in this video. But yeah, just, the fact that you have to take a few extra steps to make progress toward your goal, I think is good. It's complex enough, I guess. And then of course, I don't know, if you put yourself in the place of like a kid or anyone who's a fan of this, like say Universal Monsters, at this time, the fact that with this particular configuration, the Game Wizard config, that idea that you get 3 cartridges, that you can swap them in and out. If you get really into the Game Wizard, I guess you could ask your parents to buy the individual cartridges. I have not seen too much of that. I know for Goosebumps you could buy the cartridges separately, but most of the packaging photos I've seen of Game Wizard is the base unit, like the controller, and the cartridges all bundled together. So the assumption I have is their goal would have been to sell the cards individually, make extra money just from selling cartridges. But seeing as how this basically lasted 2 to 3 years, it probably wasn't around long enough, or didn't succeed based on that limited time frame for it. And this is not the last time we will see Universal Monsters as LCD handhelds, but will it include Frankenstein? We'll find out in a few years here. At this point, we're still only in 1993. Well, there you go. That huge spider is also to be avoided. The spider web. Oh, here we go. So the gate came down because I gathered 3 bolts. I'm almost out of energy, so I'm probably going to die soon. But the manual does explain that you have to attack the doctor. You have to jump toward the doctor when the hammer he's holding is lifted up. So I think I was getting attacked left and right, so I died anyway. But there you go. That is a run of Frankenstein from 1993 by MGA. I like it. I guess ultimately I like it. There was an earlier LCD handheld from Bandai in like 1982. There was no footage. Oh no, sorry, I'm wrong. We did look at footage. So we got to see it. That one was impressive because it had like multiple layers per level. Like, you know, LCD handhelds like this usually constrain you to like one set of sprites, I guess you might say. But that 82 one had different layers. So that one, I'd say that one's more impressive than this. Of the two LCD handhelds, the 82 one from Bandai, I think is a little cooler than this one. But this one's not bad. I think ultimately it's just like, yeah, it's fine. And the whole swappable cartridge aspect of this specific release, I think, makes it a little more interesting than the standalone version we saw in those photos. All right, well, there you go. That's it for this game. Let's turn this off. And let's hop over to game 2. It's only 2 games in this video. Here we go. We're into 1994 with another game that's just called Frankenstein. This one on DOS, developed by Junkyard. The player must collect all the body parts and screws needed to create the infamous Frankenstein's monster. Let me get this launched. And this one's interesting because it's the third, I guess you might consider it a trilogy. Was it yesterday? Oh man, I looked at a couple of Frankenstein games. It was not yesterday. Actually, yesterday we looked at Dr. Franken. 2 days ago, we looked at a couple of games called Frankenstein in which the player is the doctor's assistant called Igor, and your goal is to collect a bunch of stuff. It's a collectathon game, and you have to collect stuff, return it to the doctor. We looked at a couple of different versions of that. But that was 2 out of 3, because now we're going to go ahead and look at the third and final version of this concept by the same company. Basically, the same company seemed to just take this property they developed and shop it out to contractors to develop it for different computers, basically. So now we moved on to a couple of years later on the DOS computer. Let me go ahead and launch it here in Defend Reloaded, which is a front end for... Oh, are you being weird? Here we go. Oh, here, we have to pick sounds. So we do want music, and we do want VGA2. Oh, nope. VGA2, and go. Yeah, we want full sound. And we want the cursor to not be in the way. Maybe it's going to be in the way. I don't know. I can live with it. These names, were they names on the previous one? Frankenstein games? I can't recall.
One that on a lonesome road doth walk in fear and dread, and having once turned round, walks on, and turns no more his head, because he knows a frightful fiend doth close behind him tread.
The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. What does that have to do with Frankenstein? I don't see the connection, but that's just me. Oh, spooky shadow. Should it be Frankenstein, the creature's shadow, though? Here we go once again. So again, this is not an officially licensed Universal Frankenstein game, but so many of them, all of them at this point, rip off the Universal monster design. The flat head, the green skin, the bolts in the neck. And I don't know, to me, that feels like copyright infringement. Like, that is a specific character design from Universal. So it is interesting that everyone steals that design when they're making a version of Frankenstein for like popular consumption. Because I guess that's the easiest way to tell, like, oh, that's Frankenstein. Versus just being like a zombie-looking, stitched-up person. Alright, we want to start game by pressing spacebar, apparently. Merit Studios. I think that was the publisher. Alright, what is this one? Oh no. Oh, always so awkward when I have to remember what the controls are. Oh yeah, it's those things. It's the little, like, carrots, I guess you call them? And space bars to jump. Okay. So, we are Igor the assistant. There was no cutscene set up there, so there's not really an explanation of what is happening. We can jump on enemies this time. Oh no. I'm realizing I don't know that I tried jumping on enemies in the previous Igor, in the previous games featuring this design. Man, if it turns out I could have jumped on enemies in those games, I'm gonna feel like a real doofus. But anyway, that aside, same objective. We're wandering around, we're collecting stuff, as the description says. And we have to... I don't know if we have to return it to the doctor in this one. In fact, yeah, I wonder if it is fair to compare this to those other games. The premise is the same. You play as the assistant, and you're gathering stuff on behalf of this doctor. It's also worth noting how European as heck this design is. Just kind of the rounded design of the characters, the very goofy, rounded, cartoony designs. The UI that takes up just a big chunk of the bottom, that's a very common feature. Not just of this game. Many games of the time, even on console, took that approach. Alright. How do we enter? I don't know how to enter a room. Well, we'll just hope that we won't worry about it. Alright, let's go this way. So, as always, I'm trying to achieve something. Like in that LCD handheld playthrough, I did bring down the gate in front of the evil doctor, so that's some kind of achievement. I'd say in this game, if I can find some stuff to collect, I'll be good. I'll be happy. I'm really looking... Oh, there has to be a way to enter these gates. But, whoa. Figuring out what that is, good luck. Oh, there it is. S?
Get out of it!
Oh!
Get out of it!
It's A button, by the way, if you want to know. How to get into doors, it's A button. There it is. Get out of here! This gives me big James Pond vibes. Like, I am obviously not a British person, so I wouldn't have been playing too many of these like Amiga and British computer platformers, but in the US we did get James Pond on the Sega Mega Drive, aka Genesis, and that's what this is. This is James Pond as heck. All of this. I don't know why I'm censoring myself. I can say hell. We're all grown-ups here, right, kids? We can say hell, it's fine. Anyway, so yes, this is James Pond as hell. Oh, so floaty. So I collected a face. I don't know what I'm meant to do with a face. Man, if there was like a doctor to whom I'm meant to return, I'd love to find it. There is a health bar, which... That's another big difference from the 1992 games, actually, is those games characterize the health bar as like a fear meter, but here, there's like no indication of that. It's just like, nope, you have a health bar and it depletes when you take damage, and that's it. Ooh, dead. Well, we'll find out what happened. I love that they were like, hey, we got sound. We have the capacity for a lot of sound. Let's just do it. Bookworm, I assume? Oh, wow, this is slow. Oh. Pit of knives. It's probably not good. I'm just going in a direction until I end up somewhere. Oh, interesting. Can I make that jump? What? Okay, we just jump on the water and take damage for no good reason. Interesting. Wait. That door looks... That's that same door.
Get out of it.
Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm not doing anything, by the way. That like butt stomp animation or whatever, it happens automatically. I don't press anything to do that. I don't know, so what do we think? What are we thinking here compared to those 92 versions of Igor's Quest here? I don't like how slow and floaty this one is, so I'm not a fan of that. And like the Amiga and Atari ST one, well, first of all, C64, that's out. That's probably bottom ranked if I was to rank these. But like the Amiga and Atari ST one looked fine. It didn't look as like cartoony, as vivid as this maybe, but it looked fine. It played well. I remember that much. I think it plays better than this. But like, yeah, the art's better in this one. I'll just judge it like that. But oh, look at that. We have a face, and now we can get a hand for whatever that's worth. Why am I killing the bartender? Is he gonna hurt me? There's a clock. I just realized there's a clock and there's a timer. It was 30 minutes in the C64 version, so I wonder what it is here. Look how short we are. We're a tiny child, Igor. Random flying critter. So yeah, so if I was going to rank these, I think I would rank this below Amiga/Atari ST. I think that version plays a little bit better. It's more clear. I do like the angle in that game of you're told, like, give me this specific item, and you're meant to go wander the game and find it. So I think I do prefer that. Who's this? Oh ho ho! That's how you heal? That's great. Yeah, the music in this game's also... Why is it so moody? This is not a moody looking game. I like this weirdo, this shark guy. Whatever his deal is. Oh no, I'm gonna take damage. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. No, it just stunned me for a moment. Can I go? Sweet. Let's go inside of a building.
My word.
Yeah, I mean, this one has more polish and higher fidelity, but I still think Amiga Atari ST is the best version of this Igor the Assistant Quest game. / collectathon game. So in terms of doing something meaningful in this run, I really want to find the doctor.
My word.
Plus, I mean, if I'm interpreting that UI correctly, I have maxed out the number of items I can carry. So at this point, I have to find the doctor. I cannot begin to guess how. Like, wait, what? He moved to the right. I did not intend to do that. Oh. Nope. Oh, come on. That should be... Oh, it's a slide. Okay. I tried to stand on it, like, what is going on with this? Sentient coffin. Right. Okay. I'm so confused. This game has a lot of sprawl and lacks direction. I still fondly remember that first Dr. FrankenGame on Game Boy, where it just gives you the map. It's like, here's the map. You know, this will tell you exactly where you are for the whole game. And I think maps are good. Always have maps. Oh man, I'm just getting more and more lost. Yeah, I think I'll have to give up the idea that I'll be able to find the doctor and do something. I'm pushing other keys here to see if something happens, but yeah. I am about to die. Do I care if I die? Man, where are we even going? I don't suppose I can climb. No, again, there's no up key. It's just left and right. We found the torso! Okay, if the game is like this, I think I just completely missed the doctor's location. Like, I was supposed to find it quickly. Right? Because what else am I supposed to do here? Oh no, I'm really tempted to try to find the doctor before I call it here. So, well, you know what? What if I die? Let's just die. Here, slime dude, kill me. I forget if I get reset. Oh, I don't get reset. And I lost everything. Alright, well, I mean, if it's gonna be like that, let me just go grab the torso real fast. And now the music stopped. Why did the music stop? Oh, don't tread on me, buddy. Torch dude. I think every single enemy should have a voice line. In fact, yeah, I will subtract points for that. For lack of voices for every single character in the game. Ooh, what is this about? No, nothing I can do there. It just keeps going. And I do like that they keep introducing weirdos. Like that, is that a priest? That's a priest. Alright, now this gives me big, like Zombies Ate My Neighbors vibe, or ToeJam and Earl, where all the humans are just like cartoony weirdos. That's my jam. Platforms into the sky for no reason. I don't want to die, so let's not jump off from there. I'm just going to go left until I am presented with something interesting. That's a jar with flowers that I cannot take. Castle. Okay. Okay, so we're back at the castle. If I was going to find a scientist, I would hope it's at the castle. So, but where? Toward the.
Get out of it!
You get out of here. Get out of here, Governor. I think I took the left door last time. All right, let's try the right. Flying skull, that's a classic. We've seen many flying skulls here in these Frankenstein games. I'd say we've seen a lot of skulls, a lot of ghosts. Eyeballs before? I think I've seen giant eyeballs too. In fact, probably... Oh, we have been here. That's where I found the foot last time. But I don't want to find the foot. I want to find the doctor. Where is he? Like, how am I supposed to deliver the goods? Whoa. What's going on with those pictures? Oh, there's 2 feet. I mean, of course there's 2 feet. Why wouldn't there be? Alright. What is this thing? Alright, we got a torso. We got a very... I mean, way to go. Whoever the dead guy is here, you worked out, buddy. You got that torso on fleek, as it were. Yeah, the more stuff that's on screen, the slower it gets. Found a bolt. Not what I need. Where is the frickin' doctor? I'm getting tired of wandering around and getting shot at. Alright, I don't know if we're gonna find the doctor in this run. Everyone, I'm sorry to let you down. I'm just gonna keep going up until... Oh, you're kidding. You're kidding. Wow.
Get out of it.
That dude standing right at the top of the ladder. That's low. Whoever designed the AI or the pathing for these guys, keep working on it. Keep working on it. Give me a patch. I will accept your patch here in the year 2024. It's only been, what, 30 years? What's over there? We found, what is that? Is that an arm? I think it is. I think it's like an arm that's flexing. Again, once again, this corpse is showing off the goods, showing the guns, but we're full up with torso and foot, so... Here's what I'm gonna do. If I die again, and I have one more life, I'll continue. Because I... Oh, we're dead again, so now let me go grab that gun. The one of the guns in the gun show. Let's go grab it. Should I go back for the bolt? I don't think it's important to do that. Again, I really want to find the doctor, and I really think I'm going the wrong way. Like, it's gonna turn out the doctor was like somewhere back at the beginning of the game, and I just totally missed it. Oh, finally a wall that doesn't lead somewhere else. Let's go find the bolt. Gonna get shot with an arrow. There it is. Such jerks. What's over here? Nothing. Nothing and nobody. Nobody interesting anyway. There's a dude on the left. There's a bunch of dudes down here. Hey, we found them both. We got both guns for the gun show. Where does this go? Nowhere? Probably? Yep. Oh, come on. I definitely cleared that platform. I should just jump straight up there. Alright. I'm trying not to get shot with an arrow. Give it a moment. Let's go. Alright, the bolt doesn't matter because I have two guns. Oh, where is the scientist? There really should be a big hint that's like, scientist this way, because this is getting ridiculous. Even when the arrow is just in the wall, that's stupid. Oh, this feels significant. Whatever this is. Did we do it? What is that? I really don't understand what's going on at this point, but let's just keep it on here. We're on the final life, so I think whatever's this way, it's going to be the end. What? Are those machines? Oh, great. Oh, we're dead. We're hecka dead. Yeah, I don't get... I think those are guards. If the doctor is not standing inside that room, I'm gonna flip the F out. I'll hold back that curse word, but I will be upset. What? What just happened? What is this? Dead. Dead, right? No? No. Okay. Unbelievable. They sent me all through that, and it just goes back to where I started. That's ridiculous. Alright, well, wherever the... Time's up. So I'm fired, apparently. I think this is my... You're fired papers. What is it called? I forget what it's called. Dismissal papers? Gross incompetence, has a face and a brain like a potato. It is Igor. There we go, 4-name Igor. So it is the same character as those 92 ports. But that is it. That's the end of Frankenstein from 1994 on DOS. And that's the end of this video. That was day 8. Amazing how quickly I forget that detail. Yes, today was day 8. And those were the 2 games we looked at. Thanks for watching. Come back for day 9, where we get into the big one. The 90s had one major Frankenstein event, and it kicks off in 1994. Not this. Ignore this part of 1994. The next part of 1994 is going to be huge. It's like, it was the thing that I remember after Frankenstein on a Doritos bag. The next thing I probably encountered that was Frankenstein is the next set of games I'm going to look at, and the movie they're based on. So that's coming up next. But yeah, until then, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and yeah, see you next time.